Welcome. Hi from Austin. I came over here to visit my sister, and we have both of our girls taking a nap right now, which is perfect for us, but we're on borrowed time. So we wanted to go ahead and do a tutorial about foundation application for scarring and some blemishes. Christine just finished posting a guest post on the blog about her journey through having acne and having to go through all of that, and then I wanted to do a tutorial on how to go ahead and cover all of that without going overboard, because there definitely is a way to go overboard with your makeup because you're trying to overcompensate for the breakouts. But while we were going ahead and getting started, we actually found something that was really interesting, and that's matching your foundation color correctly. So Christine actually went out and got a $3 foundation. It's a tinted moisturizer. I knew I was on low on my little pump for foundation. So I just put it against my hand and I said, well, I think it matches as best as it can. $3. I put it in my basket and I left. And how many of us do that? All the time. All the time. Well, you go home and you put it in your bathroom, and the lighting in your bathroom is usually very warm, and so you put it on and it looks perfect. So we did that with Christine. We went into her bathroom, put it right here on the side to see if it blended all the way down, and it did. But the key thing is to match in a certain type of lighting, which you could actually get in natural sunlight from 10 a.m. to about 3 p.m. So we opened up her windows in her kitchen and we did the same foundation that she has here, and guess what? It's really orange and it doesn't match. So I'm actually going to show you what it looks like. I'm going to take the camera and get a little closer. So it's actually, and you can see, more orangey instead of being a more neutral color. So it's obviously not the correct match. She's a lot more neutral than warm, and I don't know what you're going to do with that. It could be my backup, maybe, if she wants to look a little bit more bronzy, I guess, that day. Yeah. So what we went ahead and did is I tested her with my own foundation, and she actually is a neutral. And so what I did is I just took this, I put it on a sponge. You can do it on a Q-tip if you wanted to. Just put it on the edge, and like I said, right there, and with your finger you're going to blend it out, and it should literally just disappear into the skin. If it becomes orangey or if it becomes gray, then it's rejecting it. And the only way you're going to know if it rejects it is if you're in sunlight like this. So you have to be outside, like I said, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And if you're not, then go ahead and buy a couple of those foundations, bring them home, try them, and if they don't work, then take back the ones that don't work. So this one really does work. It blends completely into her skin all the way down through her neckline, and we are going to start with that and do her foundation that way. So, you want to go ahead and get started? Let's do it! The first thing for our foundation application, and it's very important for scarring and covering scars or blemishes, is a concealer, and a very good concealer. You've seen me use this concealer before in my foundation tutorial. We're going to do the same thing with Christine. Like I said, it's a soft orange, yellow highlight, and a muted green, and mixed together it's going to take away blues, reds, and purples, and just any overall redness. When it comes to scarring, a small concealer brush like this is probably not what you want to use. You're probably going to want to use that pick sponge that I showed you last time for the foundation tutorial, because it's going to cover a lot more of an area. And if you have scarring, it's predominantly in your cheek area or maybe up here, and you don't have a lot of time to go with something this small to cover it. So we're going to pick up that color, the concealer color. We're going to pick it up on the sponge. You want to gradually build and not have the blemishes kind of take on a cakey look, which sometimes happens. So we're taking this and we're going to just start in her forehead if there's any scarring that we need to cover, and it's just a dotting type of motion right here. We go back and pick more up, bring it down, because we want to look at as natural as possible. So we finished Christine's concealer, and this is just concealer. And what we did is we went with the sponge and we just went over the entire face. Then I went with my small concealer brush, and for her under eye circles I focused with the yellow and the orange colors, because that was going to take down purple and blues. And I think it did a really great job taking down that purple under the eyes. And so really she could kind of go out this way and be done. And I set it with some powder, but it's really taken down already the scarring. But we're going to go back and we're going to focus on some of those scarring around her cheeks, and that's called spot treating. Sometimes what happens when we're having a really bad breakout and we just keep covering with that concealer or that foundation, it actually cakes up on top of the blemish or on top of the scarring, and it makes it even more noticeable. So that's why you want to just do what you can to take down the color and leave your face looking natural, like your skin, not like layers and layers of makeup, because then it's actually drawing attention to that, and you don't want that. So this is the foundation that we matched Christine with, that we know matches her, and in any light now, it's never going to show any lines that it doesn't blend in, because we're completely, perfectly matched in the right type of lighting. So we're going to start with her forehead and just dot it on this way, all the way across. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and talk about blush. Her foundation is done, and the reason we're talking about blush is because it's very important when it comes to scarring and blemishes. You don't want to focus on the cheeks, you just want to kind of open up your face. You also have to realize that your blemishes are sometimes red anyway, and when you have acne, a lot of times you struggle with just redness, splotchiness everywhere. So you may not even want to wear a blush if you're struggling a whole lot with that, but in this case, Christine's just kind of covering up scarring. She doesn't have any of that redness anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and just do more of a rose color on her. It's going to look real natural. She has a scarring around her cheeks, so we're not going to put it right on her cheeks. It's going on the outside of the cheeks. Same thing here, and just to where you can kind of see the color start. Now my sister likes her blush.
I do. I like a good pink cheek.
But to really not emphasize the scarring, you don't want to put too much on that. So you just want to go until you just start to see it.
And I am known for putting blush on my cheeks, on my nose, on my chin, and on my forehead. I'll be honest.
You know, that's how our mom taught us.
You just put it all over the face because you want them to have a nice pink face.
And for bronzers, to kind of make your skin look a little more sun-kissed, you can take a bronzer. This is one Christine has, just in a color kind of palette. But you want to start with the fan brush because you're going to have a lot of control. Start at the temples, just right here. And then you can bring it down along the chin, on the nose, just wherever the sun's going to hit you naturally. And then you can contour just a little bit here, not too much. You don't want it to look like a streak of bronze. And that fan brush really gives you the ability to do it that way. So now her face looks completely even. It looks bright and sunny and beautiful. The scarring is a lot more minimized without having a ton of makeup on. And how do you feel?
I feel great. I don't feel like I have a lot of makeup caked on my face, which I think normally, I'll be honest, I sometimes do to cover the scarring, but it feels really light, and I looked at myself in the mirror just a little bit ago, and it just looks so natural and fresh. That's what I love about it. It looks really, really fresh.
So this is Christine in the finished look that we did today. Of course, we put some pretty eyeshadows and blush and lip gloss, but because she had a great foundation, her skin looks flawless, it looks beautiful, and this is what it turned out. So we hope that you're encouraged, that you're excited. My daughter woke up, so you're hearing her in the background. But Keen's going to go out and have a great night, and we're so glad that you stopped and watched all of it, so we'll talk to y'all later.
Bye!